What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here, and it's Top 10 Thursday. I love a good villain, someone who can make me as the hero want to get stronger and fight better in order to stop them. Every once in a while you come across a baddie who's just such a great nemesis that it completely changes the entire experience. This week, we're taking a special look at guys like that. We're going to be grading them on their personality, style, and how fun they are to battle. So these are my picks for the top 10 best gaming villains. Number 10. Psycho Mantis. A truly great bad guy gets inside your head, making you think of them even after they're gone. Psycho Mantis is an agent in the infamous squad of powerful soldiers called Foxhound. Each member of this team has some sort of amazing skill that no one else in the world is gifted with. This villain's blessing and curse is that he can read the minds of those he encounters. This makes getting information easier, but it's also made him grow to hate all humans because he feels like they're all so weak and stupid. When you finally go toe-to-toe with him, Mantis uses his psychokinetic talents to throw objects, trick your eyes into thinking he's invisible, and even reading your memory card to tell you as the players what games you own. He's a wonderful opponent and definitely earns his spot just for originality. Number 9. Harbinger. In the Mass Effect universe, there's an eternal cycle of life and death. As civilizations rise and reach into the stars, a special race of ancient aliens named the Reapers awaken deep in the black of space. Their job is to destroy every city on every planet until all that remains is dust, and then they wait for the next generation to reform in hundreds of thousands of years. The leader of these ruin-spreading monsters is Harbinger. When our heroes first find him, they mistake his body for being a ship because he's just so massive. It's only when hacking a master computer that they discover the truth. This is a creature that has personally killed trillions of people, but he's ready to do it again. This bloody task is what he was really designed for. There's no joy, no sadness, only ruthless annihilation. Number 8. Zeus. Taking down the creator of gods and the world itself is no easy mission. This mighty deity has spent a long time building magical protections to ensure that he'd never have anyone challenge his rule over Olympus. That plan worked until the day he angered Kratos. By throwing him into the fires of Hades, he filled this albino warrior with a hunger for revenge that not even the highest god could stop. What makes Zeus interesting as a villain to me is that he only shows up in the game when he's really needed. For the most part, he's off camera, moving enemies into our path and plotting more difficulties. This establishes a solid sense that we're just pieces on a giant chess match and barely worth his attention. When we do at last get to stand before him with all the strength that Kratos has gained, it is a glorious clash for the ages. Number 7. Bowser. This goofy-looking turtle is rather diabolical despite his cutesy appearance. King Koopa has been stealing princesses and trying to drop Mario into lava for over 30 years now. In those decades, we've seen him drive around in carts, trap people in deadly board games, and even play some tennis. Essentially, what I'm getting at here is that Bowser kicks so much butt because he's willing to do anything for the sake of being evil. Nintendo's designed an antagonist who makes sense doing anything as long as it's bad. For example, in Super Mario Galaxy, we're chasing him across hundreds of tiny globes and dueling him on a steel moon, but you don't question it. Not only is that awesome, but when you think about it, he invented a lot of what we picture as bosses today. He's big, mean, and usually takes 3 hits to defeat, a pattern that has been copied millions of times over by other projects. I have to tip my hat to the man who started it all. Number 6. Andrew Ryan. Every other character in this video has some sort of miraculous abilities that make them tough, and yet what we have here is just a normal person. What Ryan does have that others don't, that really makes him stand alone, is Dream. He wants to leave behind the laws and rules of society because he claims that these can hold back mankind's progress. To achieve the goal of a land without restrictions, he's constructed a city under the ocean, hidden from the eyes of common folk, and with him, Andrew's brought the smartest people alive. Using their genius, it was possible to cultivate the new age of research and achievement, that is until everyone went insane and ripped each other's faces off. I'm sure many of us have heard stories of experiments going wrong before, but what I love about the plot of BioShock is that even at the end, Ryan stands by his decisions. When we find him, he doesn't run, he doesn't make excuses, he simply talks to us, explaining that all along we're still failing to understand his ideas. With his dying breath, we hear the eerie words, "A man chooses, a slave obeys." A reminder that it's better to make an existence for yourself than just follow orders and be happy. Number 5. Diablo. There's an old saying that I've always remembered that goes, "Give the devil his due." It means you should respect your enemies for their best qualities, and in that style, I have to admire Diablo. This ageless monster has spent millennia sitting in the flames of the underworld, sketching out how exactly to destroy Earth. Every so often he comes to our reality, raises some havoc, before eventually being defeated by loot-seeking adventurers like ourselves, but usually not without wrecking some towns first. In the mythology of the series, this nasty beast has another title than Diablo. He's referred to as the Lord of Terror, which is very fitting. Tracking him down throughout the many levels, we see the utter carnage he leaves behind him. In the third game, Diablo and his demon army actually managed to smash the gates of heaven itself and slaughter the angels in their homes. The amount of raw, dangerous hatred this mammoth monstrosity wields is unfathomable. By the time you corner him in the scorched arenas of hell, the war is basically already over and we lost. Number 4. The Joker. Gotham's clown prince of crime isn't someone who's worried about gaining riches or fame. He just wants to watch chaos unfold around him whenever possible. Throughout the Arkham franchise, we witness him laying traps for Batman, slaughtering civilians randomly, and even doing a song and dance number at one point. He's a figure that would gladly take someone hostage, but rather than torture them, he'd just play a nice game of poker instead. If you win, you go free. If you lose, well, things don't go so great. He understands that what he's doing is wrong and evil, but as long as it's fun, who cares? One of my favorite moments with him is at the conclusion of Arkham Asylum. He's just injected himself with Titan formula and become a hulking beast in an attempt to murder Batman. In the middle of the fight, he'll keep stopping to smile at helicopters that are flying around and do silly poses. He can't resist the thrill of putting on a good show. Being beaten up, dying, or landing in prison means nothing to this villain as long as it's worth a good smile. Number 3. Ganondorf. In the official Zelda timeline, the Dark Force Ganon has taken physical form on several occasions. This is typically an incredibly difficult task, so whenever he pulls it off, he makes sure to enjoy his visit to Hyrule. For Ocarina of Time, he's born as the king of the Gerudo, a tribe of super skilled desert hunters. Not satisfied with dominating the sands, he sets his sights on destroying the royal family and stealing the Triforce. That being in his possession will grant him any wish his heart desires, no matter how twisted. What I find extremely awesome about Ganondorf is that he clearly loves being a total badass. He can fly, shoot lasers from his hands, and transform into a massive pig thing, but what does he do with it? Well, he mostly just floats around and talks trash to Link, which I find hilarious. There's something special about a man whose goal is to take over the world, but wants to savor the moment doing it. When I was playing this back on the Nintendo 64 as a kid, his laugh would actually slightly scare me since it seemed like deep down he knew so much more than I did. He's an all-powerful dude who could probably obliterate me in any second. Number 2. Pyramid Head. Silent Hill is a place that draws in lost souls. The more conflicted you are inside, the more it can mirror your own fears and most screwed up problems. James Sunderland is a man with a lot of emotional baggage. His wife recently passed away and now he's forgotten how to just be a regular person. One day, he receives a letter though, but it's not from an old buddy. It's from his dead lover, asking him to come to Silent Hill. With that paper in hand, he heads out, not knowing that he's heading straight towards unspeakable terrors in this town. While exploring the area and searching for Mary, he's stalked by Pyramid Head, a creature that defies the imagination. Is it a mutilated human compelled to hunt survivors, a fallen god, or a reflection of James's own personal demons? No matter what it is, what's important is that this thing is dangerous. During our first encounter, James hides in a closet while it rips into other freaks from the city. This shows that Pyramid Head is something else entirely. It can think, plot, and maybe even fantasize about the best way to tear your skin off. The mythology around this monster is some of my favorite in all of gaming history because he's just so mysterious in his own gruesome way. Number 1. Sephiroth. There are thousands of videos written about this guy. Everything from theories to the minute he went mad to questioning if it was him or Genova truly in control while trying to destroy the world. Sephiroth is obviously a very beloved baddie, and he does it all with style. With his flowing hair, giant sword, and carefree attitude, he makes the apocalypse look good. Throughout the story of Final Fantasy VII, Cloud and his team are chasing him across continents, into the frozen mountains, and even to the bottom of craters in an attempt to halt him from accomplishing his objectives. There are loads of qualities about Sephiroth that make him a rather dastardly devil to deal with, but what sticks in my mind the longest is that originally he's actually quite confusing as a figure. The newspapers claim he's dead, and for most of the game we don't really see him, so it's hard to know if that's true or not. We just hear rumors about him and see the bodies left behind by those who meet his blade. By the time you finally meet Sephiroth, he's more legend than man, making the encounter all the more epic. For his world-crushing magic, troubled origin story, and fantastic weapon, I am awarding him my pick as the best villain in gaming. Did your favorite evil mastermind not make the list? Got an idea for a future top 10? Leave it in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. You know, just for fun, I'm going to actually show you one of my outtakes. Normally, I hate for anybody to see this, but check this out.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's king.
Oh, hi. I'm just working on the next video. If you want to see what it is, go ahead and click this button and you can subscribe. Also, if you click these video links, you can see my latest review and my latest top 10. Now I'm just going to sit here for a minute and wait for you to subscribe. Oh, I guess I could put on these giant glasses. I literally found these on a roller coaster.